everybody, it's NaturalMe4C, and today I'm going to be reviewing Revlon Colorstay Makeup, and this is the newer formula that they released earlier this year. Okay? So I wear the color Caramel 400, and I've been using this makeup forever. I think I'm working on like year 8 or something. But first I want to show you how I apply the makeup, and then I'll jump into the review. Okay, so I don't have any foundation, powder, or tinted moisturizer on or anything like that. So this is my skin without any foundation on. Yeah, girl, all them freckles. All right, so I obviously have eye makeup on and a little bit of lip color, but that's it. I do have oily skin, so I'm gonna blot a little bit before I get started. Don't prime my skin. Yeah, I just jump right in with the foundation. So I'm gonna shake it up, okay? And I am running out, so hopefully I have enough for this. All right, so this foundation can be very tricky to apply because of its texture. It's thick. You can see it's not running down my hand. Although this was previously like a liquid foundation, it has changed to more of like a cream. I'm gonna take a brush from Eco Tools. I believe this is a blush brush. And I'm just going to barely tap that in. I have about that much on my brush. I'm gonna take the makeup and I'm gonna dab it on my skin like this. Very, very light. And you can see at first it looked like it was too dark, but it's really not. It's actually too light for my skin tone sometimes. So I just continue to stipple this in. Then I'm going to take this huge powder brush. This is from Renewal from Rite Aid. And I'm just going to go over that foundation and make sure that I evenly distribute it on my skin. And this is the amount of coverage that I tend to go for. You can still see my freckles and some acne scars and stuff, but I don't do full coverage. I never do full coverage. I like my skin to look normal and natural. So as this dries down, I'll go back in to see if I need to retouch anything. Whatever excess I have on my brush, which is like nothing, I take that over my nose, around my mouth, and I bring it down on my chin. Big brush. For my forehead, tiny bit. You can barely see it. Concentrate on where I need it, which is right in the center. And then I kind of sweep it across my forehead like that. With my fingers. Usually I'll go back in right here. I have a really old scar, like it's like 10 years old or something. And I kind of just add a little bit more there. And then I'm just going to do one more round with this big old giant brush just to make sure everything's blended. Okay, so I had a couple scars from a little while ago. I had got 2 pimples on my neck, of all places. So I'm just going to take whatever is left in the brush and I'm just going to kind of rub that down here. Pretty much just to kind of blend in whatever scar I had on my neck and whatever lines you have that may be darker. For me, this foundation is like an all-in-one. I don't have to use concealer. I don't have to use a setting powder. It's just, it gets it all done in one bottle. That's it. That's all I do to my face. All right, so the basics of this makeup has not really changed. It's still $9.99 to about $13.99. You can still find it at Target, Rite Aid, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, places like that. So this makeup line has always been known for its long wearing performance. So for me, even though they've changed the texture of this, it still lasts me all day. I don't really find myself having to touch up very much. If I do have to touch up, it's usually around my eye area because I'm very oily there. But other than that, this makeup will last me from 7 a.m. to midnight. When I first purchased the new formula, I didn't even know that it was new because the bottles look like identical. This is the old formula here and this is the newer one. But what I noticed right off the bat is the texture. I could not get it out of the bottle because that's how thick it was. This is the texture up close. This is the new formula here and this is the older one. You can see the older one is sliding down my hand whereas the new one is kind of staying put. So there is a difference in the texture. With the old one, you kind of have to use more of it because it's more liquidy. And I was even using it with like water, like dampening my brush and stuff. But with the new one, if you use too much, it is going to look very, very unnatural. So you have to be very careful with how much you apply. And it took me a really long time to get my technique down. But I think I got it. Sometimes I mess up and goof up, but for the most part, I am having more success with it now. So I would say because of its thick texture that the new formula is medium to full coverage. So although the texture is thicker, I don't feel it on my skin. Like I don't feel like I'm wearing anything. It's still very breathable, if I could say it like that. It doesn't feel heavy at all on my skin. I don't really use a lot of it, so maybe that's the reason, but it doesn't feel heavy at all to me. Now, as far as it transferring, the old one did not transfer like at all. The new one, however, does transfer a little tiny bit. It's not going to really come off if you touch your face like this, but it may come off if you like blow your nose or something like that. You can see there's like a little bit there. So you will get a little bit transfer if you actually wipe some of it off. So that right there, I do not like. I absolutely love the fact that it did not move at all before. Although the new formula transfers a little bit, it's still kind of water resistant because when I'm washing my face at night and I'm wetting my face with water, it doesn't really come off. So I still use coconut oil to remove my makeup, and I don't have any problems getting it off that way. Another good thing that I really like about this foundation line from Revlon is that they have a large color selection. I have noticed that the color selection for darker skin tones is better in the combination oily line versus the normal to dry. I'm not too sure why. Another great thing that I really like about this foundation is that there's no SPF in it and there's no sparkle or glitter in the shade that I'm wearing. Now, I'm not sure about some of the lighter shades. There may be a little bit of sparkle in there, but I have not noticed any sparkle in this one or the old formula in the Caramel 400. Great for when you're taking pictures and things like that. You don't have to worry about your skin looking unnatural when you're using flash and stuff like that. But this is still hands down my absolute favorite foundation that I've ever used. So although I have a couple of bottles of the old formula stashed upstairs, I still find myself reaching for the newer one just because it's a little easier for me to apply. All right, so that's my review for the Revlon Colorstay Makeup in Caramel 400. And this is the combination oily line. I hope this was helpful. I will see you very soon in another video. Take care.